What's going on? Hello, hello. All right. Okay, so bit of an impromptu stream. Ugh, but here I am, because you knew it was going to happen. It's funny that. All right. There we go. How's it going, everyone? Got my Sonic hat. Now, I did wear it. For those of you who saw my post on Twitter, posted a picture of me wearing my get-up. This is the closest thing you'll ever get to me cosplaying as Sonic, I think. I have a Sonic hoodie. It's got his face on it. And I've got the Sonic hat. Lots of people have got this hat. It doesn't really fit me very well. But I decided to get my friend, because I went with a couple of my friends. And I got my friend to take a picture of me wearing this get-up before I saw the movie. We were at the cinemas, just outside the seating. And I was like, I gotta do it. I got it for the memes, for the, Sonic van and all that. Fuck it, I gotta do it. So, and right next to it, there's a Super Bowl. And they have a partnership with Sega. So a lot of the stuff, like the arcades and stuff, are all either Sonic-based or Sega-based. And they have a Sonic statue there. So what better than to stand next to the Sonic statue that is literally right next to the cinema and take a picture. So I got my friend to take a picture of that. So that's pretty neat. And apparently you can get breakfast with Sonic at the Super Bowl right next door, which I find quite funny. So obviously someone's there dressing up with this old Sonic. But yes, welcome to the inevitable Sonic movie discussion reviews. I don't really do movie reviews, really, but, it's Sonic. I gotta talk about it. I want to talk about it. Now that I've finally seen it, and I kind of figured some asshole would spoil the movie for me. No, I'm not sorry. You're an asshole for spoiling it. I'm sorry. It's just facts. Stay off. Well, it's not even stay off social media. It's my fucking stream, man. Someone come into my stream and spoil shit. Goodbye. Like, I'm still kind of salty from that. But don't worry though. I'm not gonna immediately get into spoiler territory. We'll get to it. I'm just gonna have a general discussion of my thoughts and how I felt after just seeing the movie. I literally just got back because I'm quite close to the cinema that I live in, so I've only been back for about 20-ish minutes, 25 minutes. I haven't been back home for very long. And I wanted to talk about it while it's fresh in my mind, even though I might end up seeing it again, just for references and stuff, just to see if anything I missed. Because I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff. I mean, there's probably videos. Look at all the Easter eggs you missed and stuff. But, I liked it. I went in, thinking that, well, it's going to be a lot better thanks to the redesign of the movie. Which was needed. Whether it was a publicity stunt or not, I really don't think that's the case. But, fan theories. But I did enjoy it. As my mate Leon said, it was better than he expected, and my expectation wasn't super low, but I was like, I saw Detective Pikachu and I really liked it, so I was hoping we'd get something similar to that. Detective Pikachu is probably better, honestly, but as a Sonic fan, I can say I had a smile on my face and I enjoyed it, and, I think they did a good job with what it was. Was it super amazing? No, but it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. There are lots of obviously references and stuff, as you might get. Obviously, this isn't really a spoiler, but you see Green Hill in the trailers a lot of the time. Green Hill's and stuff, and then Sonic eventually comes to Earth, and whatnot. And we assume that it's Mobius. That's where he's from. They don't state it in the movie. At least, I'll get to it when we get to spoiler territory, but I don't think I might have missed some stuff. There was some stuff I try, to see, but naturally Sonic going so fast is literally like he's in this frame, then in this frame, this frame, he's moving about so fast. But sometimes there are words, and I'm like, I wonder if any of these words are references. They might not be, but you never know. There might be a reference to a zone or something. I mean, again, this kind of isn't really a spoiler, but he comes out of Green Hill Zone into Green Hill Zone. Well, Green Hills. They call it Green Hills. It's the area they live um, in on Earth. That the Tom, I think his name is, uh, the sheriff guy. So he kind of comes out of actual Green Hill Zone and then goes to a place that it's called Green Hill. So it's just like he's back home. I mean, he's in Green Hill and he's in Green Hill. Okay, which was quite funny. But no, I did enjoy it. I definitely did enjoy it, and I would say if anyone is skeptical about going to see the movie, I think you'll have a fairly good time. If you're not a fan of Sonic, um, it's not really based on the games. There are obviously references, but it's own original story, origins and stuff. But I think it's fine. I really do think it's fine. I don't think it's train wreck like a lot of people were thinking it was going to be because of the old redesign. But yeah, no. Shout out to Tyson Hess because that redesign needed to happen, and Sonic's really emotes in that, and I think they did a really good job of capturing the feel of Sonic in terms of not just the way he looks and the effects and stuff, all the pretty effects, but his personality. And there are some bits where I was like, I kind of feel bad for Sonic, because I guess we never really got an origin story. I mean, we had the first game, obviously Sonic saving his wood-like creature friends, the Flicky stopping Eggman. But like outside, I suppose, comics or maybe the cartoon series, we never had an in-game sort of origin story. It's always sort of either explained in manuals or comics, but like I said, they do their own thing, right? So don't go into the film thinking that it's, well, you probably know anyway that it's based off of a specific game, or it starts off original and then it's like, oh hey, it's this, it's a story similar to this. It's like, no, it's 100%, it's just own sort of origin story of Sonic the Hedgehog with references and whatnot. Jim Carrey, I love Jim Carrey. I think he did a really good job of being Eggman. He's really in your face, but I can see Eggman Robotnik, I could see him being like that. He's really in his face, and he really emphasizes the fact that he is smart. I wouldn't say it's a spoiler. I mean, you see what he's like in the trailers, but yeah, he really emphasizes that. Look, I'm smart. I am smart. IQ of 300. They don't state that, but you know, he is the smart guy, and yeah, he believes he's the one to sort out Sonic and stuff. And they do some things here, but again, it's an original story. There might be some references from comics. I'm not really too familiar with the comics because I wasn't really allowed comics growing up. And some people might think, wait, you weren't allowed comics? It wasn't so much that I wasn't allowed as in like my parents thought it was bad. It was more so that my parents has never been really rich. Um, and it's one of those things, well, they would buy me games and they're like, well, games are expensive. Do you want games or do you want comics? Because comics were expensive growing up. You know, and they also didn't want to spoil me. So it's one of those things like, oh, we don't want to keep getting them stuff and spoiling them and all of that. Which I totally get, obviously, now that I'm older. So I never really read the comics, if I'm honest. I was always the type of kid that kind of window shopped. Sometimes I'd see like magazines of Sonic on it or like comics. Never allowed to get them. And I might have like briefly flicked through very briefly. I don't remember any of it. I was like 4 or 5 years old, or however old I was. I wasn't very old, so I don't really remember too much. So I never, unfortunately, ever got to read comics because my parents are like, "Yeah, I'm not buying you that. You either want your Sonic games or your Sonic comics." And I'm like, "Yeah, I want my games." So if I had to choose, so there you go. Um, this is really a spoiler. Do I think? Well, we'll get to it, but like I say, 'cause this is a spoiler discussion, so we will get to spoilers soon. Um, I heard it's done really well, so there's going to be a sequel for sure. I'd be surprised. You know, but it's definitely, you know, it's definitely going to be a sequel. I'm interested to see what they do next. With what we had here, I'm interested to see what they do next. It would be cool if they literally just called it Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And I think it would be fine. Which you'd assume. I mean, it's called Sonic Movie, but if they call it I guess they'll call it Sonic Movie 2. They just called it Sonic the Hedgehog 2 or something like that, or Sonic the Hedgehog Movie 2. I don't know. I think that would be, all they needed to do and whatnot. But yeah, I think overall, me and my friends were coming out with like, it was solid. It was definitely a solid film, and I would see it again. I would 100% see it again. Makes me wonder if whether I should pick it up on like Blu-ray later on when it comes out, because they like to cut things out, and there might be some things on there, some extended scenes and stuff, more references. You never know. You're interested to see what they do and whatnot. So, plot isn't like super crazy, but it does what it does, and I think all the characters do pretty well. There are some funny scenes that, as you kind of expect, the film is trying to be funny, and I think it does a decent job. I think there are some things that definitely got me and my mates chuckling, and we were like, okay, okay, okay. And you're like, this character's like this, okay. This person's like this, okay. Get it, totally get it. Ugh, totally get it. Right. So, how long? We're dropping frames for some reason. That's lovely. I don't know if I'm actually lagging. How long we've been talking? I've been talking too long. Okay. Well, I guess I'll kind of just say it right now, 100%. Spoilers. So I mean, it says it in the title. So really, if you click on it and you're like, "Why are you talking about spoilers?" It's in the title. Say right now, whatever I say, you know, spoilers and all. Yeah, this is what I'm going to be talking about. So I guess we'll start with the beginning right off the bat. Now, this isn't a spoiler, but there was a trailer. You might not have seen it, but it was only in Japanese, where we saw what we assumed to be the beginning, where Sonic is a baby and he's running around Green Hill. What looked to be what we initially thought was Sonic as an adult was actually not. It was actually I think it was a replica of a scene later on, actually. And I noticed, I was like, oh, Sonic's doing that exact same pose as he was in the trailer, but it was in Green Hill. I was like, okay, there might have been some clever editing to make us think like that. Or. But, yeah, so Baby Sonic's running around Green Hill. And I was like, okay, so is he on his own? What's going to happen? Whatnot. I made a prediction about what they would do, because one of the things that Sonic says in the trailer is that, well, obviously in the movie, is that people were always after my powers, and I'm like, well, he hasn't met Dr. Eggman yet. Who in the Sonic world could I think of? Like, is there anyone in the Sonic world that I could think of other than Eggman that would be after Sonic? Not really. Unless it's Shadow, but I don't think so. And I made a prediction. And so I was like, I wonder if I'm correct. And I was correct. What's going on to cast? I hope I said that right. Apologize if I got that wrong. Is the film in any way woke or pushing some progressive crap, or just nice Green Hill Zone over and over? No, well, it's mainly set on Earth, so you don't see much of Green Hill Zone anyway. The place they are in is Green Hills, but pretty much what you see in trailers is essentially what you should expect from the movie, pretty much, because they show a lot in the trailer. There are obviously a lot of things you don't see still, but there are a lot. If you see the trailers, what you see there is what you expect to see. Green Hill was at the beginning, actual Green Hill Zone on what we assume to be Mobius, and that's it. You never see Green Hill Zone again, and it goes to Earth. Um, so yeah. Hello, Matt. Welcome all. Like I said, we're getting into spoiler territory, as it says for the title. So if you haven't seen the movie, if you happen to click on this, please be aware I'm talking about spoilers. So please don't go at me if you don't want to be spoiled. Go watch the movie. As a Sonic fan, I can hardly say I enjoyed it. So go watch the movie. I think it was. I think it was definitely a good film. It was decent. It was definitely decent. So go see it if you can. I would 100% do that. Beyond the original trailer that got panned, not watched any. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that, TechCast. But yes, unfortunately, some asshat in my chat the other day spoilt, which I predicted. I thought they might do it anyway, but still, when someone says no spoilers, the movie's not even fucking out yet, but people are getting advanced screening. Someone felt the need to spoil it anyway in my stream. Really rude thing to do. Yes, we'll get to Tails, but he was in the movie. We'll get to him, but not yet. We'll get to him. So going back to the beginning, so Baby Sonic's running around, and you see him give a flower, and this was in one of the trailers. He's giving the flower to someone, and I'm like, who is it? So it's a type of situation where Sonic's been adopted by another animal, another talking animal, and it's an owl creature. Original character, this owl creature. I'm trying to remember the name of the name of a name. It was an interesting name, but this owl-like creature is acting like a mother to Sonic. She's looking after him. Now, she keeps saying like, Sonic, you can't just run around because your power is going to alert people. You need to be hidden. You running around like that with this power is going to attract people. And if you saw the trailer, on the trees, there were creatures, but they were hard to see. And I was like, I get the feeling I know exactly who they are. I made a prediction, and this is where the prediction came in, and I was correct. So, Sonic and the owl get attacked, and they start running away. Who are they getting attacked by? The echidnas. And I was like, okay. That kind of makes sense. The echidnas are in the Sonic movie. You know what that means? Knuckles is probably gonna be in the next film. Probably. Yeah. Echidnas. So that kind of makes sense. I was like, you know what? The echidnas are known, they had this whole war thing in Sonic Adventure, and the reason why they essentially died out was because they were hungry for power, and they forced their way through to use the Chaos Emeralds, and that ended up being their end. So considering they're a tribe that's always trying to gain power over people, it kind of makes sense. They were after Sonic's power. Nice reference. Actual echidnas. So the original tribe. So that's cool. Echidnas are in the movie. There's your reference. They are all red, but they're all like wearing like tribe stuff and that. But I was like, echidnas. You know what? That makes sense. Now the rings. The old owl woman. She's the one who actually gives the rings to Sonic. Now Sonic doesn't collect rings in this, by the way. I just want to point out he doesn't collect rings. No, these rings, as you see from the trailer, they act like teleporters, similar to kind of like the special stage rings, right? They don't really explain how they work. The owl just kind of says these are rings that, you use to transport to other worlds. And I'm like, okay, these do this. And she gives them to Sonic, right? She gives them to Sonic. She gives him a bag of them. And she's like, take this and go to this planet that's on the other side of the universe, which happens to be Earth, right? Now, she doesn't mention that it's Mobius. You've got to assume it's Mobius, right? You assume it's Mobius anyway. So she got shot out of the air by an echidna. The echidnas are coming in to try and steal Sonic away. They want to capture him and take his power. Um, he obviously have a bit of a sad moment. He has to say goodbye to his adopted mother. He doesn't want to leave her. Looks like she's about to get attacked while he goes into the ring, and he ends up on Earth as Baby Sonic. Fortunately, he couldn't save her, so he's sad. Years later, he's living in the real life Green Hills, I guess. That's the literal place. It's called Green Hills. Um, and that's where we more or less get introduced to the his friend, the sheriff, who is called Tom. And you sort of see Sonic. He's clearly been hiding for a long time. He's well, I say he's an adult, but he's like teen sort of thing. And he's running around, and he's constantly like watching him. And it's quite funny because the dude's literally like bored as a sheriff. He doesn't really do much, right? And he's hoping a car would come along for his speed meter, right, to give him a ticket. No car. He makes a silly joke about a turtle. It was fine. And then Sonic comes along, and then he sees like the meter like 296 miles per hour. He's like, that can't be right. Sonic checks the meter, and he's like, I'll better do that again. And then it's 300, and then Sonic's like, yes, personal best, and then he runs off. It's cute little moments like that. Where I was like, okay. I can see Sonic doing that. So I think they did a really good job of, capturing Sonic's personality in the film. So a lot of the time he is literally just watching from the sidelines, and you sort of feel bad for him because he is literally an outsider. Also, yes, Sonic is a space alien. They say space alien, but I'm like, he's just an alien. You don't need to call him space alien. Most people consider aliens from space, but they say you're a space alien. You mean he's an alien, right? Do people say space alien? I don't know. I don't know. Um, so yeah. Anyway, he's an alien, and he's basically just, watching people. He's like the whole baseball scene, right? He watches some kids play baseball, and it's like, oh, that's cool. I wish I could do that. And he sees the kids like do high fives to them and stuff. And he's going around, and he's seeing like, I guess, the locals, walking around and stuff. And you realize that Sonic's quite lonely. This is one of the things is that he doesn't like to be alone. And it's an interesting take because I don't know if I ever felt like video game Sonic was ever lonely. Granted, he meets Tails in the second game, but you always see him as this confident character, right? And he kind of just does his own thing anyway and runs off most of the time. So you assume he's all right because he's just running around doing whatever he wants and blah, 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 blah. And he could be anywhere with no time flat. So I suppose if he wanted to see someone, I suppose he could. Um, but you kind of have this scene where like Sonic's like yearning to be around people, but he has to hide himself. He's, like I say, he's an outsider. He's basically an alien. Um, and he's watching Tom, the sheriff, and his family. And he's sort of pretending to be a part of the movie, and they make a nice reference to, I think the film Speed by Keanu, and he even mentions like, "Oh, Keanu, you're a treasure." So there's even like references to other things, like I'm honestly not surprised. Sonic did say, "You're awesome." If he'd have said "You're awesome," I would have been like, "Oh no." If he'd have made that Keanu joke, I would have been like, "Oh, I'm done. I'm freaking done." I'm surprised they didn't do that. If I'm honest, I'm really. Oh, it's not "You're awesome." "You're breathtaking." I'm sorry. I can't even get the bloody quote right. "You're breathtaking." I'm surprised I didn't say that. Um. Yeah, and you see him living in the cave, and the trailer kind of showed he's just running around on a washing machine. He's messing around with nunchucks and stuff like that. Reading a bunch of like Flash comics, which again is cute because the Flash and stuff, super speed. Who would be faster, Sonic or the Flash? Oh. Um, and then what ends up happening is at night he goes back to the baseball pitch, and he does that scene again in the trailer where he's playing baseball with himself, and it's edited quite well, and he does it and stuff. Um, and he tries to celebrate in that, but again, this is a scene where I actually felt kind of bad for Sonic, where like Sonic sort of like, high five, but then realizing that obviously he's just playing with himself. There's no one there. And Sonic kind of has this really sad moment where he's like, I really am alone. And he gets so upset that he just keeps running in a circle. Like, you can just see him getting more and more and more and more upset. And it seemed like his, like, this electric power, which they don't explain. There's going to be a sequel. I'll just say that. There's going to be a sequel. Probably next year. There's going to be a sequel. There's no doubt about that, right? They might explain his power. In this one, it's all like, we know he's super fast, but like he's got like this electricity going on. I don't know what it is. I'm sure people have already got theories. I've already got my theories that I came up with. If they're gonna explain his electrical powers, they might not. It might just be like, look, it's an original movie. He's got special powers, whatever. Um, the owl woman says like you were born with special powers, but you got to be careful because people want that power and stuff, right? But he gets so upset, and that's when he causes the power outage because he's angry and he's running around in a circle, and that's what kind of alerts everyone. And then you basically meet the dumb sheriff guy. Like he's like really dumb. Like maybe they created him because you've got Dr. Eggman who's like ridiculously smart and keeps telling you you're smart, and then you've got this literally straight dumb guy. I don't know. I'm not sure, but he literally like this guy is literally like, oh, what do I do? Or oh, I wonder what he just said. And taking things literally, like so, like the sheriff's making a joke, and he's literally taking it he's literally taking it literally. So you have that type of comedic slapstick sort of thing going on there, and so Tom goes to investigate, and that's of course, well, Sonic tries to escape because this is another thing because I'll have to look at it again, and again, there's probably like hundreds of videos talking about it. I don't know. Sonic pulls out a kind of like a map of worlds. And I didn't get a good look at the worlds because I wanted to see if there's any references to the worlds. Are they name of zones or anything? But his adopted mother says that if things on Earth don't go well, go to the Mushroom Planet. Which me and my friend basically said, so is that supposed to be Mushroom Hill Zone? Maybe? Probably. I mean, I don't think there's that many mushrooms in Mushroom Hill Zone, but we'll just assume it is. It might be, it might not be. Which, if it is Mushroom Hill Zone, again, I'm getting into video game logic. Mushroom Hill Zone is on Angel Island. So that would imply it's Angel Island, but it's probably not. It's probably not. Let's just assume it's a reference anyway, right? And he pulls out this map, and that's where, like, it kind of shows things. And I wanted to see if the world, because I think the world he used to be on, he's crossed out. Like, I can't go back there because the echidnas will come after me and stuff, right? Don't can't be dealing with them. And then there's Earth, and then there's a bunch of other worlds, but I didn't catch it. But I wanted to see if that was called Mobius on the map, but I couldn't see it. I wish I could see it again. I can't visualize it. But he pulls out a map, and he's like, I gotta go to the mushroom world, and he wants to. But then this is where they introduce Jim Carrey. He has that thing where it's like, I am Dr. Robotnik. I'm taking over the operation. He sends off his robots. And then one of his robots, Sonic sees the robot, so he hides. And so he can't go there. And that's when the dude, Tom, finds him, tranquilizes him. You have that iconic meow, but it's not so cringy this time. And that happens and stuff. And then he accidentally activates one of the rings and drops it on a building in San Francisco. And so he loses all of his rings. Eggman comes along, and then he does this whole thing where he's trying to pretend to be like an electrician. I'm here to sort out your power outage. He manages to get him. You see Sonic curl up with a ball for the first time, which I find kind of cute. The first sort of roll up into a ball. And he rolls down the stairs, gets caught. The dude Tom knocks Jim Carrey out because Jim Carrey finds his little electric blue hair. That's something that also Tom finds, and he's like, what is this electric power? But one thing I want to jump in ahead a little bit. I'm not gonna talk. I'm not gonna literally talk about the film bit by bit by bit. Trying to give you the Cliff Notes version. But I'm gonna find interesting is that Jim Carrey analyzes it later on in the movie, and it says unlimited power. And Jim Carrey says, "I found the source. I found the an energy source that I can use to power my robots." He actually makes a joke, which is quite funny, where he says, "Do you know where your tax money is going?" Because they make jokes where like Jim Carrey literally just keeps Robotnik keeps throwing out robots, and it's like, is it ever going to end? And he makes a joke. He's like, "Do you know where your tax money is going?" Which I thought was quite funny. Me and my friends laughed at that. It was like, that's actually quite funny. But yeah, he says unlimited source of power, and I'm like, so Sonic has unlimited power now? And again, it made me think about the Chaos Emeralds. The Chaos Emeralds are known to have unlimited energy. My theory, this is just a fan theory, and I'm sure people have already said about it, and I don't think anything's been confirmed, is that the reason why, potentially, that Sonic's got that electricity is that he was exposed to chaos energy. Chaos Emeralds have unlimited power. He could have absorbed Chaos Emeralds, which isn't too out of the question. We know he can turn into Supersonic. If you want to go under the logic that this is like Sonic was exposed to Chaos energy and it's in his body now, this is why he can use the Chaos Emeralds to turn super, right? That would make sense. In the movie term, like if they wanted to do that, that could work. And you've got the echidnas, so that could mean the Master Emeralds there as well. All this could happen, right? This is all just theories, and that all can happen. So that was like my initial theory. I was like, maybe he was exposed to chaos energy, and it like infused with his body, and maybe that's why he has that electricity. I don't necessarily think that's to do with his speed. I think he was just born with that. I mean, they say like, "Oh, I was born with this power," but I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, maybe he got some chaos energy into him. You know, in just a theory. But I try to remember now. Then of course they go on the road trip and that, and they have that little comedic scene and comedic scene. Of course, you gotta have a bar fight because you're in a bar and that. And I do appreciate the slow motion bits where like you kind of have like the flash moment where to Sonic everything slows down and he just runs around and he does crazy stuff and he messes around with people. And he had there's this funny scene where he runs up to this guy who's really angry, and he tries to bonk him on the head because he's seen too many like Clint Eastwood's films where you just action films in general where they have bar fights, and he's like, all I gotta do is just hit you on the head with this bottle, bing, and it literally does nothing, and he keeps doing it, and the guy's just like, what are you doing? It's actually really funny. Um, and then even later on, like he even tries punching him. He just punches him really fast in the head, and it doesn't do anything. I was like, okay. I'm surprised he didn't go for the balls. I'm honestly surprised he didn't literally just go for the balls, but he didn't. So that was a funny scene. And then all of a sudden, they're like, yeah, so this Tom guy is actually a dangerous person, and yeah, you need to stay away from him and whatnot. And the entire time, Tom's wife is literally like, well, Tom's wife's sister is literally like, you need to give him a divorce. Like she makes a point that she does not like her sister dating him. Like she's a bad influence. She's like, you just need to get a divorce. And they do have a funny scene where, unfortunately, he has no choice but to go see his wife's sister's house where his wife is and his nieces. I thought it was his daughter at first, but it's his niece. She's the one who gives Sonic his shoes because they're all battered up. This is after the scene where Robotnik was, going after them in the car. Again, it was in the trailer. And there was a sticky bomb. Sonic tried to get rid of it, and One recurring thing is that Sonic keeps saying nailed it, and it's fine, but that just seems to be his catchphrase. He just keeps saying nailed it, right? The explosion caught him though, and there's a few times where the film, they do like the oh no, Sonic's badly hurt. Is he dead? But if you've seen the trailers again, this is a problem when you watch trailers. You haven't got to that point. I mean, they're not going to kill him off anyway, but it's like they want to give you this sense of like, oh no, he's in trouble, feel bad, and I'm sure kids might be a little bit upset. Obviously, he's going to be all right. Even if you don't see the trailers, they're not going to kill him off, right? You know it's not going to happen. But they have a few moments where they're like, oh no, Sonic's not waking up, and this and that, right? Jim Carrey thinks he might have got him, but he didn't. And he also, I think, kind of connected that he had one of his strands of hair. He kept the strands of hair from Sonic, and he noticed that it was still going. So he figured if the strand is still electrified, then he assumed Sonic is still alive. Because I guess he assumed if Sonic's dead, then it will lose its power. Maybe not. I don't know. You also, of course, you've got his assistant, which he's not called Snively. But I want to believe that it's a reference to Snively. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, the cartoon series Sonic Sat AM, basically freedom fighters, Dr. Robotnik had a human assistant called Snively, who, he would basically mock and moan and whatnot. So I assume that his partner was probably a reference to Snively, And yeah, he doesn't treat him very well. He doesn't treat anyone very well. I mean, Eggman literally is like, I am a loner. I'm so smart that, I don't, I can't stand people. This is why I have no friends and whatnot. He definitely does play on that. Lost my train of thought, but yeah, there's a few times where I'm like, oh no, Sonic's in danger. But when you've seen the trailers and you haven't got to those points in the trailers, you're like, well, unless the trailers lied to me, I know he's going to be fine anyway. But it is how it is, right? It is how it is. But there's a funny scene where Tom brings Sonic, who's knocked out essentially, over, and his sister-in-law faints, and she tells her sister to catch her. She doesn't. She falls on the floor, and then I thought it was Tom who ties her up, but apparently her own daughter ties her up, and her daughter seems to love Sonic. Like she's really friendly and that, and she goes and gets some shoes, and that's where he basically gets his signature shoes in the movie. And he does some poses and stuff. Some references to Sonic's poses that he does in the games and whatnot. So that's always cool. But I just find that interesting. There's also a scene like later on where like the woman is still tied up, telling her daughter to untie her, and all the daughter's doing is running around the kitchen saying "Gotta go fast." I'm like, okay. Literally all she's doing. She's running around the kitchen saying, gotta go fast, gotta go. I'm like, okay. Sonic didn't take too long to influence her, did he? And there's a cute scene with the dog, again, in the trailer, and whatnot, so. And of course, can't forget Afro Sonic when he runs into the Pacific Ocean and then he shakes it off and he has like an afro. As a cute little. There's lots of like little like funny sort of cute scenes. I'm like, okay. Okay. I appreciate that. The one thing I will say, I mean, my friend said that about Robotnik's mechs, kind of gave him an SA2 vibe. I can sort of see it. I think he might be. Well, I think he might be referring to Gun, not Eggman. He might be referring to Eggman, but I think he might be referring to Gun because there's Gun robots as well in Sonic Adventure 2. But I didn't feel like the machines were very Eggman-like. I mean, I don't know how hard that would be, but they kind of went with their own thing. It just kind of seemed like these are just a mad scientist making crazy machines, right? But it didn't. I never really sort of felt like they looked. I mean, maybe there might be someone in there being like, "Look, put this and then this machine here," and it's like one of them. one of them I was like, maybe could potentially look like one of the mechs from '06, but I think that's kind of a reach. They just seem sort of like generic machines, in my opinion. With obviously lots of missiles because Eggman loves his missiles. Sonic does call him Eggman. So yeah, like almost immediately he's like Eggman and stuff. So yeah, Sonic does call him Eggman. He does give him the nickname. Ugh. And of course, what was it? They finally get to San Francisco. Finally get to San Francisco. They have that scene in the lift where they're like, "Do you have your kid in your bag?" And he's like, "Oh, it's a kid, but it's not mine." And they're like, "It's not your kid." And he's like, "It's okay. I'm a policeman." And then like his wife like tries to zip up the bag, try and keep him quiet. So he's like, "I can't breathe." And then everyone's just like walking off, like, "What the fuck is going on?" That scene was like, ooh, but you gotta laugh because it's just like in that situation, man. It's like okay, it's a pretty funny scene, so I'll give them that. Yes, there's a fart scene, and I don't mean the one where he elbows. I'm talking about when they're in the hotel and he takes a shower. Yeah, there's a straight up fart scene. Of course, there is. Yeah, you gotta have one, I suppose. So this definitely a fart scene. Very important. So they go on top of the building. Of course, Sonic's like, oh, I gotta go to the mushroom. He keeps saying, I gotta go to the mushroom planet, mushroom planet. I don't really want to go. There's nothing there. It's just mushrooms, like literally nothing there. I don't know if he's actually been there, if he actually knows that, but um, so he kind of says like one goodbye because obviously Tom immediately was like, I don't know how I feel about this guy, but Tom is portrayed as this kind of lovable, I guess, sheriff guy who does all these like generic jobs that a sheriff probably shouldn't do. He doesn't actually do anything serious, and he wants to be recognized as someone who actually saves a person's life. So he wants to be an officer of the law, and he actually wants to go to. Is it actually San Francisco? I want to say San Francisco. He wants to become a street cop, and he's essentially planning to go there because he got accepted, but then things changed and whatnot. And Sonic takes a really big liking to him, but Sonic always sees him helping animals, right? Because that dude's been in another animal movie, so I guess I just like, we'll just pick him out again. And he's always helping animals, and I think that's why Sonic's sort of like, oh, he's a nice guy. He's always helping the animals. I forgot to mention right at the beginning. There's this scene where there's this turtle and it's about to get ran over, and Sonic saves it, and then he's like, "Turtle, you're always so slow." And then he takes the turtle for a run, um, and then wait, how does he let go of the turtle? The turtle slips out of his hands, and then he has to quickly run back and get it. The turtle looks so shaked up. He's like vibrating on the floor, like it's about to be sick. I'm like, poor turtle, man. He's not used to that speed. So that happened. That was like right at the beginning of the film. So that was a thing that happened. I was like, okay, calm down, Sonic. Um, Now I'm trying to think. So yeah, they're on top of the building. Tries to throw the ring, fails because Jim Carrey's there, Robotnik is there. I think that's the first bit where he's like, that's where he calls him Eggman. And again, Robotnik, going off, being like, I'm smarter than you, and stuff, and I'm better than you, blah, 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 and as you do, as he keeps doing. Um, and Sonic pushes Tom and his wife off the edge. I keep saying his wife because I don't remember her name off the top of my head. And then everything slows down, and you have that bit where all the missiles are all slow, and Sonic kind of just messes around with them. But it's something interesting is that Robotnik, about halfway through the time slowing down, he must have figured out a way to keep up with Sonic. Because it's not so much that Sonic slowed down time, it's that everything is slowed down for him. We're seeing it from his perspective because that's when he's ready to go super fast, so everything starts to slow down around him, right? But what Sonic didn't realize is that Robotnik was frozen, But then halfway through, when Sonic was falling about, he started moving. So he kind of ended up sort of, I guess, catching up to his speed, and he started moving while everything else was still slowed down, which I find, interesting. Um, and then he tries to attack him, so he throws a ring just in time to save his friends who he knocked off a building. And the rings act like basically teleporters to anywhere. Sonic basically says he just needs to think of where he wants to go, and he can go there. And that's where we get the whole scene where Jim Carrey. I keep saying Jim Carrey. I know it's Jim Carrey playing him, but he's Robotnik. He's playing as Robotnik. Is chasing Sonic. Sonic's like, okay, let's play a game of speed, and Jim Robotnik chases him. And that's when you get the whole just him just constantly throwing rings and running through them and stuff. And I want to say that some of the places he goes are references, but they're probably just random places. I want to say that he runs along the Great Wall of China. I would like to believe that it's a reference to Chun Nan from Sonic Unleashed, but again, it's Chun Nan is based off of, well, China. So, literally it's just China. And then he goes to the pyramids. He tries to confuse him. He manages to climb up to the pyramid, goes back to, I think, Green Hills. I want to say Green Hills. But then Jim Carrey manages to stop him. And that's when you're going to get the scene where, like, oh no, Sonic's like gonna die and stuff, and because he has a bucket list, right? And one of his main bucket lists is that he wants to, make a friend. Like his main bucket list is that he doesn't want to be alone anymore. He wants to make a friend, and that's obviously ended up being Tom, as he goes off with the bucket list and stuff. And then you obviously get the scene where Tom tries to use one of his rings to basically punch Robotnik, and he does, but then Robotnik kind of knocks him off. And then he said, I'm gonna protect him because he's my friend, and you gotta get that sort of sappy scene where it's like he's my friend, and then Sonic hears it and he wakes up. And they're obviously going for, I guess, that Sonic's power is sort of related to emotion. Sonic's angry now, obviously, at Robotnik. He's like, I'm gonna use my power. And that's when he does like the big old sort of like. This is where he goes crazy with like spin dashes and rolls and stuff. And I guess you can kind of say it was sort of like a homing attack. He kind of goes crazy, like he's just spinning all over the place. And the lighting, like the electricity and the lighting, looks really good. I like the effects on that. He's just battering the machine like classic Sonic and classic, just sort of classic Robotnik and stuff. And then Sonic's like, this is the scene where he gets sent to the Mushroom Planet. We're just going to call it the Mushroom Planet. We don't actually know if it's Mushroom Hill. We just call it the Mushroom Planet. Maybe Mario's there. I don't know. I don't think it's the Mushroom Kingdom. It might be there. I don't think so. But it's like I'm not going to leave Earth. I'm actually going to stay here. Because all like the townsfolks actually come out and protect the sheriff, because they all know the sheriff and they all appreciate the sheriff. And I think, I'm trying to remember who his name is. We're going to call him Crazy Earl. He was Crazy someone. I don't think it's Crazy Earl. But this crazy guy drew a picture of Sonic. If you guys know what Sonic is, he's basically a meme. He's a meme. Someone created this like kind of like terrible drawing of Sonic, and it became a meme, and it was made into a fan game, and it was even put as like a t-shirt. Like Sega made it into a t-shirt, so they know about the memes. And crazy dude literally it was just like, here's a drawing of this blue creature, because they call him the Blue Devil. This is before they discovered him, right? And it's just Sonic, and I'm like, okay, that's funny. There's just Sonic reference. So it's literally a drawing of Sonic, so that's cool. But he comes out and he's like, I'm gonna protect that Blue Devil because I knew he was real the entire time. Because there's a scene later on where he has a bunch of bear traps and Sonic disables them all. And he's like, I know you're there. I know you're there. And Sonic's like, no, I'm not. In the distance, I was like, yeah. Sonic also can't stop talking. He literally can't stop talking. Kind of like me sometimes. Literally, they constantly make the joke of, does this guy ever stop talking? He's like, oh, he's still talking. He just won't stop talking. Literally won't stop talking. Sonic loves company in this film. Like, he does not want to be alone. They emphasize that hard. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be alone. He already felt bad for leaving that owl woman. You know, back in Mobius, we'll say Mobius. You know, and whatnot. But yeah. So Tom opens a portal to the Mushroom Planet, and Sonic does like one final spin dash and sends Robotnik into it. Now, Sonic managed to pull back his quill that Robotnik had, like a magnet. So he's like, yep. He's like, you have something that's mine, and he pulls it back. So he takes his quill back, which is fine, interesting. So that's how he gets to the planet. And then, of course, everyone's like, well, yeah, you know, Sonic can stay, and everyone did a good job and stuff. And that crazy dude just has, like, a random chainsaw. I'm just like, what? What's he going to do with that? He's just like, I'm like, what? Okay. What does it do? So that's the end of Robotnik. That's the end of Robotnik. Of course, Sonic goes back to live with Tom and the family, essentially. You know, all happy ending. And they mentioned how, you know, the government comes up like, oh, you know, thank you for your cooperation and not mentioning what happened. And they're like, yeah, what about that Dr. Eggman guy? And then it's like, he doesn't exist. Because apparently Robotnik, no one likes him. Like, no one likes him at all. He's a mystery. He doesn't exist. He's like he's essentially like the well, kind of Secret Service, but he's literally like the last resort. You don't know about him. He doesn't exist. You know, wherever he actually was and stuff, right? And like, yeah, so like I don't know who you're talking about. So Dr. Robotnik thing. It's like, yeah, okay. And they even say like, you know about that blue creature? No. And they keep trying to like peek in to see if he's there and stuff and whatnot. And obviously he is there. And then we essentially he ends up staying, gets his own room. It's quite cute. Then we get the obvious shot of Robotnik in the Mushroom Planet, and he must have had a shaver, or he's using a piece of metal from one of his busted robots, but he's shaving his hair off, and that's where you get the crazy sort of look, and he's all like, my sanity is still 100% and stuff, with his mustache going all crazy and stuff. And he's even like carved the stone to look like his assistant, you know, who essentially left there on planet Earth. But I guess what Sonic didn't realize is that Robotnik had another quill of his, which is still glowing, and his logic was, well, I pretty much have nothing about this quill, but because I'm super smart, I'm sure I'll figure a way off this planet with this unlimited power I have. And then we finally get to the big one. You see a shot, just normal shot, like mountains and trees. Then a portal opens. Who pops out of the portal? My boy Tails. Literally comes out, and you have to realize that Tails obviously has never met Sonic. However, he implies that he knows of Sonic. He comes out and he has like a detector reader, and he's like, my detector says he's somewhere here, and then it sort of seems like Tails needs Sonic for something urgent, like something's happened. I assume Tails are from movies as well, right? So Tails come through a ring portal, so he has one as well. And he's like, he must be here somewhere, and we get to see, and Tails looks pretty good. I like the way Tails look, and we get to see him fly with his two tails, and you see him fly off in the distance while he's trying to track Sonic. He's like, I need to find him, so I'm assuming something's gonna happen. If you're ever any doubt there was gonna be a sequel, there it is. Cliffhanger, Tails is looking for Sonic. There's gonna be a sequel. So yeah, there's gonna be a Sonic movie 2 where Tails and Sonic get to meet for the first time. So yeah, I think that was it. That was the Sonic movie. A Lots of references. They had the chili dog reference. They had the chili dog reference. I can't forget that. When Sonic farts, Tom's like, "What did you eat?" "I don't know. I think it was called a chili dog." And I'm like, okay, okay. Now I couldn't see any other references to zones. Like I was looking for billboards with zones. The only one, the obvious one, was Green Hills. I didn't see anything else. I'm sure I missed some stuff, but I was trying to see. Is there any sort of like other, like references to zones or anything? I didn't see anything. Didn't see anything, but I'm sure, like I say, there's videos, videos of explaining what they've done and stuff. But I did enjoy it. It was fun. It had some good references, and what they set out to do, I think they did well. So I would say it's a solid movie. Again, do I think it's super amazing? No, but it was fine. I think it was fine. I think it was honestly good enough. If you go in as a Sonic fan, I think you'll enjoy it. I think kids will like it. If you don't care about Sonic, you probably wouldn't care about seeing the movie. But I think it was solid. What would I rate the movie? Well, like out of 10, well, I'm leaning towards a 7 or an 8. I'll be kind. I'll say 8. I'll say 8. I'll say 8. I'm honestly really happy that I predicted the echidna reference. If I'm honest, I'm really happy. Don't get me wrong. Lots of people, like when I thought echidnas, I saw other people putting their theories across. Now I'm like, oh, it's got to be echidnas. Some people were trying to say they could see it, but I couldn't see it. But I do like that reference that it was the echidnas after Sonic, because that just opens the possibilities of obviously Knuckles and the Chaos Emeralds and Master Emeralds and stuff. So that's cool. That's really cool. Be interesting to see how Robotnik gets back to Earth, or if he ends up on Mobius. He might do. You never know. But I want to say I'll say a solid 8. I was sort of leaning between 7 or 8, so I enjoyed it. And I look forward to the inevitable sequel when that comes out, because we know it's going to happen. So, yeah. All in all, I don't think the movie would have been as enjoyable if they hadn't done the redesign. So, shout outs to the team at Paramount who worked on it, all the animators and Tyson Heads who did that, because I think it really helped. It really solidified the movie. I think it would have been a lot worse with that design. If I'm absolutely honest, I really do think it made a big difference. It's a decent movie. Sonic fans, I think, will like it. Non-Sonic fans, just you don't care about the Sonic games. You won't. I don't think this is going to change your mind, personally. Um, but it was definitely a solid movie and whatnot. And yeah, I'm sure there'll be even more crazy references and whatnot and stuff. Now, something I'm curious about is Tails' voice actor, because he sounds similar to his current voice actor in the games. But obviously, the voice actor for Sonic, I think is Ben Schwartz. I think his name is, um, is not the current game voice actor. Like they literally got someone else to voice movie Sonic. Not sure about the actor for Tails. I need to look him up, because sounds similar to Tails' current voice actor. Because it would be interesting if they got him to voice him, but not the current voice actor, which I think is Jason Griffith. I think it's the current voice actor for Sonic. I think it's Jason Griffith. Um, I have to check. So, the movie would have sucked with the odd. It would have, yeah, it would have bombed. I mean, people would see it, but people wouldn't be happy about it for sure. I definitely think it was the saving grace. I really do. I really do think it was the saving grace. What do you think, Matt? What do you think overall? I don't think the other person's here anymore. I think they're gone. I think they hadn't seen the movie. So again, I always say go see the movie. You know, go see the movie. Don't listen to me mumble and jumble. Go see the movie. But what do you think overall, Matt, about Sonic movie? What do you think? Because I know you've seen it now. So Ooh. I meant to put late night stream because I'm actually streaming quite late today, but I was in a good mood. I was like, you know what? It's fresh in my mind. I'm okay with doing like a sort of an hourish stream of just talking about the Sonic movie. And now to put this Sonic hat away again in my cupboard. I think that's me done anyway for me, for at least movie wise for a bit. I think so anyway. I think that's me. That's me covered. Now the question is, are they gonna do like some sort of Sonic movie video game tie-in or something? Uh, Nope. Oh, it's also nice. Not talking about the film specifically, but it's also nice just sort of sitting in the cinema and just sort of seeing people enjoy the movie. Like I heard lots of chuckles. I was sitting next to some other people because when we got in there, the seats started to fill up, so we had to grab the seats so we could all sit next to each other. So I ended up sitting next to this other guy. Um, but everyone seemed to be sort of enjoying the movie. I don't know if all of them, were like, I don't even know, like Sonic fans. Some were kids, families, and stuff. Um, but they all seem to be sort of like chuckling to jokes, and so it's just kind of nice. It's like I don't I don't have to hide in my room anymore and not tell anyone I'm a fan of Sonic because I'll never get a girlfriend and everyone will laugh at me. No, but it's nice to be in a situation where I don't have to go to a convention, not to feel normal, but to feel okay to just talk about nerdy things and video games and not be judged by filthy casuals. It's like, hey, I actually went into the cinema to see this film, and you know, it's nice to feel that way. And bless the guy who was at the cinema who took my tickets, because while I was trying to stuff this into my bag, I didn't do a very good job because my bag's kind of broken. He caught it and he was like, "Oh, you got the Sonic hat," and I'm like, "Yeah, might as well go the full cadoodle." In case you haven't seen it, I posted me posing against a Sonic statue with the costume and stuff. And my friend had a Sonic shirt as well, so yeah, we had to do it. It had to be done. It had to be done. It was fantastic. I enjoyed everything, even the details on Sonic. Yeah, they did a really good. They did a really good job with how Sonic looks and the electricity and designs and stuff, and just how emotional it was. I think they did a really solid job with how he's sort of, with how he's more or less, portrayed essentially. I think they did a pretty good job with that. So, regards to the movie tie-in game, then it will bring more people to the franchise in general. Yeah, but they're usually bad. You know, usually they're like easy cash grab type of stuff. So it's one of those things where it's like it could be bad, and then like people are like, yeah, let's not talk about that movie time because it wasn't very good. Like Dragon Ball Evolution, but Dragon Ball Evolution was just bad overall. So I wouldn't say the Sonic movie was bad, at all, and it seems to be getting positive reviews. So I'm really glad. I'm really glad. But overall, good experience. I would watch it again, and I probably will pick it up on Blu-ray when eventually at some point when it comes out. I probably will, for sure. And like I say, I'm definitely gonna watch the inevitable sequel. Yeah, yeah, we know it's gonna happen. All right, it is getting on to 11. I Final thoughts. If you're a Sonic fan, go watch it. And I do think it's a good movie. It's a solid movie. Solid references. Sonic was portrayed well. The general characters were alright. They were fine. I think Ben Schwartz, to say the line, nailed being Sonic. I think he did a good job. I think he did do a good job. Portraying Sonic. So shout outs to him. Good work. If he comes back and play as Sonic in the next one, I assume he will. He might not. Who knows? He is a Sonic fan himself. I'm pretty sure he's played. I don't know how many games but he's definitely played like the old games and stuff. I actually just quite like the intro. I didn't actually mention that, but the intro where it kind of does like the Sega intro where it shows like Sonic, like the classic Sonic games, but it also shows a bunch of Sega games as well in general. I was like, oh, that's cool. And I bet like me and my friends were smiling. And the end credits had like this really cool retro styled take on the movie. It even had like blue spheres, and I had Jim Carrey in one of his Eggman in one of his robots, but it had the wrecking ball attached to it. And I'm honestly surprised they did not make a wrecking ball reference. I'm surprised Jim Carrey didn't like press a button and a wrecking ball came out. I'm really surprised they didn't do that. They didn't do it though. So yeah, definitely some fun stuff. I'm getting the Blu-ray as soon as it's out to see all the Easter eggs. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm sure there's like loads of videos on the internet already being like, look at all these Easter eggs, blah, 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 and stuff. I suppose I'm probably going to prepare myself and head to bed and, probably chill looking at some potential reviews, some other reviews and other people's thoughts and potentially some Easter eggs that I might miss. We'll see. Yeah, it was fun. So yeah, go see it. If you haven't seen it and you're a Sonic fan, I would recommend. I do think it does a good job for what it is. So if you enjoyed Detective Pikachu, if you've seen it, I think you'll enjoy Sonic. So yeah. Alright guys, well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this movie discussion. I don't usually talk about movies because I don't really watch many movies anymore. But it was Sonic. I had to do it. I want to talk about it. Like I say, when it comes to video games, and related to video games and stuff, I can just talk and talk and talk, guys. So if you ever want to chat, Discord, man, join the Discord because I'm always up for a chat when it comes to video games for sure. But yeah, maybe I'll do another sort of thing like this in the future. I do enjoy just chatting, like I say. Telling you, man. Podcast. I'd love to do a podcast or something. But yeah. Alright guys. Have a good weekend. Take it easy. And I'll catch you on the next live